So sadly, it looks like part way through my previous video for the weights, my phone decided to stop filming. So normally it does a pretty good job, but we were only about like 2-something minutes in, and the video, or at least I thought when I was filming, it went to about almost probably 10 minutes. So we're going to do a little bit and retouch base on some of the stuff that I was chatting about, but then sadly didn't get on camera for you. So in the video, I was mentioning how with your weight behavior, just like many of your other skill sets, oh my goodness, chewing, is that you want to work through your time frame, so your duration, you want to work through your distances, and also distraction levels. So remember that if your puppy is giving you a hard time about something, it's more than likely that he's actually having a hard time himself. So when working on anything novel, or you're, again, working on generalization of the skills or getting uncomfortable offering it through other adventures in different parts of the environment, you want to make sure that when you're working with, for example, your weights, is that you're making sure the puppy's also successful. So we're having him wait. So in the beginning, I might just work time frame, so my duration, and then Winston come, and then feed him for that lovely response. If though your puppy is having a hard time with impulse control, which is like holding back and sort of keeping themselves from wiggling or jumping and get into something that you were hoping to hold back from, you may find that with Mr. W in the beginning, you start off with your weights and you do a little bit with your time frame first, and then eventually your distances and distractions. But if, let's say, you keep asking for the weight and your puppy's just unable to hold it, some of my favorites are to start off with some find its and then work the recall from there. So we might go again, Winston, come. Yes, what a good boy. He's like, hold on, lady, there's good smells. Nice job. So if, let's say, for example, mix up my snacks again for the handsome guy, is if the weights were not going as well as you were hoping, like let's say he could barely handle this, we asked him to wait and he kept breaking, which right now he's doing beautiful. Winston, come. Oh, he's about to lay down because he's getting tired. Nice job, sir. So, but let's say he was having a hard time holding those weight positions. We would go ahead and just do a find it. And then from there, get him to do again, Winston, come, and work that lovely recall. And so that way you're still working with sort of name recognition and getting that, again, come when called behavior. You can also sometimes do this in your home, and I would recommend, again, start off in the simpler zones, which could be your home front inside, your yard or side yard, front yard, maybe the first few houses in your neighborhood. But remember, if you're starting off with all of your practice in the real world where it's really difficult for him and for you, you may be getting him to rehearse the behavior you're trying to avoid in the first place. So remember, once your puppy is over 6 months old, you're pretty much dealing with a teenager. Nice check-in, sir. And the problem with dealing with a teenager is that while their body is under construction, so is their brain. So at times, they might have big feelings towards certain things or situations and have a harder time with it. And because of that, you may want to prevent the rehearsal of those failure moments. So sometimes creating a softer environment where your puppy is set up for success, then that could be much more attainable for both you and your puppy than rushing through steps at this point. Because when you start rushing through steps, you might actually be creating the behavioral troubles that you were trying to avoid in the first place. So remember, be careful about flooding your puppy with too much too soon, which could be overwhelming and scary and then lead to more negative associations. Or at times also, make sure that you guys are both having a good time in the process of learning. Otherwise, if it's more one-sided, it could become frustrating to you, but it could become negative for the puppy. And we want to make sure that as he's developing and your relationship is growing, that the direction that you're both taking is the direction you were both hoping to go to. So he did a really great job with some of those weights. We'll give him a little break, and then I'm going to show you some recall practice on a long line as well. So we'll do a little bit of everything.